welcome to I'm Alice podcast, where we talk about connection and creativity and how we find clarity in this ever-changing world. And today I've got Candice Ruggiero, if I can pronounce that correctly.
Ruggiero.
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 So it's a bit of a tongue twister for me.
I
And
know.
and today we're talking on some really interesting subjects about how we can make an impact in the world and what Candice is doing. She's amazing. I've seen her everywhere. Supporting schooling and children in the Philippines. And she's just really standing up and showing who she is. And so I'd love you, Candice, to introduce yourself and share what you're up to.
Well, hello to Alice and to her viewers, her followers. I am just pleased and excited to be here. I don't always say yes to being a guest because I'm a host myself, but Alice is pretty special. We connected during when she was a guest on my podcast, and I just can't say no. So I am just thrilled to be here and to talk about myself. All right. So, Candice, I am currently here in America, but my background really is I was born in the Philippines, grew up there, and I live in Australia for a few years and also now calling America my home. And it's odd because, like, in America, I've been in three different states, okay? New York, Connecticut, Florida. So I feel like my entire life is all about like change, moving, and that's one of the reasons also why I am very confident like talking about my experiences, because when you are a person who has lived, not just traveled, lived in different parts of the world, you become part of every place that you stay. And that's why I really don't think that I just belong in one country. I belong in the entire world. That's why when Alice introduced me in the beginning about having this global impact, I feel that I do have a role to play, which is really to have a global presence. Because, like I said, I've experienced different cultures, different places, and I've seen the beauty of it. That's why I am very intentional and purposeful with every step that I make to really introduce diversity and welcome cultures as through my host thing, through my coaching, through my mission work, just really being out there for the whole world to see. Just presenting every country to everyone, because I feel that each country has beautiful people and we learn from them through through what Alice and I are doing through hosting. And about myself also, I have been an educator for 30 years. 30 years as a teacher, administrator, school owner in the Philippines at the age of 24. Instead of at 24, people were just like finding their path, they're partying, enjoying life. But at 24, I was leading two schools already in the Philippines. And I feel that experience really was built my leadership, built my confidence, built my multitasking skills. And I will always be proud of that achievement, because not only did I come was invited to be featured in a primetime news in Philippines, but also gave me that strength, that like passion to continue leading the school. So when I moved to to America, my goal really was just I need to be a school leader in America, which is a bigger population. It's America. If I can make it in America, I feel like I can, I fulfilled my passion, which is to lead. So I worked on mastering my craft in education. I went for back-to-back masters in education in two universities in New York. I did training, I did workshop, and really ready to be leading a school now, as maybe a school as a principal or as a district leader, which is like a brighter scope of leadership. And finally, when I was about to like really um, get into that leadership, plot twist, your life starts to change. I had a defining moment back in 2023 when my husband passed away. And although he has been, sick during the time that we were together, like maybe like 16, 17 years of being together. I knew, he had like a heart problem. He had a major heart attack when he was um, younger. Even if, somebody's sick, you really don't know that
Mm,
that time is coming, right? So I still feel that when that happened to us, it was still a surprise and totally changed my life path. I just wanted change, Alice. I just needed to like do something different. Like I feel like my life, since my life is changing, I feel that I need now to focus on me, because no matter how much that 17 years went by, like you kind of change. I became a caregiver, I was
mm,
working multiple roles, and I reached burnout, as a
absolutely.
wife, as a mom. And I feel like I need to change, because if I'm going to be a full-time mom now for my kids, like I need to be there 100% for them. That's when I realized that I needed to heal. I mean, healing looks different for everyone. Mine was really going inward. Like 10 months, I didn't work, because I just needed to like, just like take in the time and just now focus on me. And sometimes I think you need that. It doesn't have to be 10 months for everybody, but for me, it took 10 months, because that in 10 months also, I found another career path. It led me to what I'm currently doing now, which is hosting, keynote speaking, coaching, and currently doing some global mission. And it's all part of that healing journey that I went through. So yeah, I feel like I just wanted to share with everyone that your greatest grief could also be your greatest strength. So that's how I want to like end it with
Yeah.
my introduction of
Yeah.
myself.
Oh, that's
Proud to
amazing.
be
My God,
here.
you speak so well. Yeah. And the thing is, and I found this too, and I don't know if we really talk about it so much, or like saying about grief and how it affects us on so many levels, on our
Yes.
physical level, it changes potentially where we live. I mean, it has such a huge impact. And it's like we can find the creativity in that. And that's what I found. I found the creativity in that to take me through it. And I don't mean, oh, I'm just trying to find a creative project. No, it's like finding something deep within us that is honoring our grief and honoring the person we loved, or people we loved. And
Yes.
and that's a whole different approach. And like we were saying earlier about connection. Now, when we go through difficult times, we need connection is the transformation drug.
Yes.
Connection
Yes.
is it. Because if we don't have connection, we're isolated mentally, physically, emotionally. And that's when people need to go on antidepressants because they're isolated. But really, we need connection. And I think this is really beautiful. What you're doing is that you're really connecting with your people, your viewers, even in everything that you do, and you're dancing and stuff. You're bringing joy. And sometimes when we're going through really difficult times, it's really hard to find the joy, you know, and and find the upliftment in that and the laughter
Yes.
and like dancing and listening to music and playing it out for us is it always makes me laugh, it always makes me feel uplifted.
Yes.
So you're doing the right thing. But yeah, I
Well,
just think that connection is so key, and also you're really connecting with people through what you're doing. I mean,
yes.
not just with being a host and speaker, but how you're impacting you know the schools and the young children in the Philippines. It's so touching and it's so important you know so you've really got the whole holistic approach to what you're
Yeah.
doing. So
Well, I want to like just react with what you said about creativity. I never thought of it that way, that, that like going through grief, you can find your creativity, which I believe, and I really genuinely believe that we all have creativity inside of us, skills that we know, skills that we don't know we had. And sometimes it just takes like really digging deep. Like sometimes you don't even have to get that creativity from other sources, from outside sources. It's in you. I really believe we all have that creativity in us. Like what you said, it's not just creative project. It's creativity, finding ways to develop yourself. Like that's creativity. Like mine is, I feel like when my husband passed away, I didn't have time to cry. I didn't. I just feel like life just started happening so quickly for me. In 2 weeks, I had to downsize from like really huge house to like a smaller house. You know what I mean? In 2 weeks, not because I couldn't, my finances changed, but because also we could see him. Like we could like, it was hurtful for me and my kids to stay in that huge house. There's only three of us, and with him, like we just picture him. We see him everywhere there. So I had to like downsize in 2 weeks. So I really didn't have time to like really grieve. That's why when I shared with you, like it took me not working for 10 months to actually say that I am wow, like I think I can do this. You know what I mean? Like I think I can do this being single, and not just do it, not just survive. I think I'm gonna thrive.
Yes.
That became my mindset.
Yes.
So, and then that creativity that you just mentioned, it
Mm,
just started coming out of
mm,
me
mm.
because of like my intentions, my purpose. So I just wanted to share with everyone that you do have creativity in you in whatever form. And when Alice mentioned that, don't laugh, I'm probably the only content creator, the coach, the host who you'll see dancing and singing. Like I don't have a good voice, but I sing. Because you know what, Alice? Because of the grief that I go through. It's not just my husband. I went through different phases of life with, losses. Like two brothers and a dad, you know, I feel like no matter how bad your circumstances are, you have to find time to have fun. And for me, that is dancing and singing and
Yeah.
just being silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my
And that's
creativity,
what we
and
need to
that's
do
me.
more of, because we
Yes.
take life too seriously.
Yes.
Take life far too seriously. We just have to be like, especially in the UK, we're all very stiff upper lip and, all don't express the emotion. Oh, did you see an emotion on my face? Oh, take that on. Everyone's so kind of
Yes.
repressed. And it's just like, yeah, we really need to really just be who we are and just have some fun like
Yes.
kids. We've got so much, we have to remember we're alive right now. Okay. In this moment, we're alive. So we have to make the most of it. And, I
Yes.
think recently I've been forgetting that a little bit because there's been stuff going on. And, once you get some stress and things, we actually forget just to celebrate being alive. I mean,
Yes.
obviously, going into nature, and there's so much beauty here. I'm always completely uplifted. And the water and going through purification. I mean, I feel like I go into a magical kingdom or something. I'm going into Narnia or something.
Well, it's like I mentioned to you, like whenever I see Alice's post, it's so different. It's so unique because like most of my followers are here in America or Europe. Like you kind of see the same thing. But
Yeah,
Alice being in Bali, Indonesia, she really shows herself in the different scenarios or different places in Indonesia where I don't think Asia is really being explored or like being like presented to the world in that sense. Like it's really
yeah.
beautiful.
Mm.
So like what you said, it's magical. So whenever I see your post as well, like I am in like I see myself transform just simply looking at your posts or
Yeah.
watching your posts.
Well, I think you need to come to Bali to experience it firsthand. I
I
think it
should.
needs to be on your list because
Yes.
it is a different energy. I mean, I like to travel. Obviously, I'd like to travel more. And last year I did travel to the UK and Portugal and Mexico. So I
Mhm.
was very lucky to go to the different places. But the energy is different everywhere. It's
Yes.
different. It's a whole different frequency. It really
Yes.
is. And we are energy. And this is what we feel from you, Candice. We feel your energy and we feel your truth. We feel your passion.
Thank you.
And we feel, it's like when we have difficult things that happen in our lives, we go through grief and loss. There's something, although it's very deeply sad, and it's almost like a part of you is left. It leaves you, part of you, because the life you had is no longer there. So a part of you leaves, but then something, a force within us that is, unique to everyone, a force within us rises up because
Yeah.
I think it's like we're so resilient, we're so determined. It's like nothing is going to, I mean, I remember saying that nothing is going to ruin my life. No one and nothing is going
Yeah.
to ruin my life. It's up to me to stand up for me and do it, you know. So I feel that, I think that's the connection that we have as well. It's like you're like that. You say, okay, yeah, okay, let's take a break. I took more than 10 months, I can tell you. I had
Really?
to take quite a long time. Yeah, I had to take quite a long time to because I was completely out of whack. So, but yeah, we take the time and you know, we and then little miracles happen. You know, ideas
Yes.
come, you know, and then the universe pushes us in another
Yes.
journey, and that we get stronger, you know, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's just that following our own path, we're redirected into a
Yes.
deeper purpose, you know, a soul purpose, you know, which is about bringing people together, and it's being in your truth, and it's being creative, and it's supporting, you know, humanity, the collective, and what we can do in our small way, what we can do, but with passion and you know, and strength, and then we, you know, we kind of rise quietly, but you know,
Yes.
yeah,
Well, like as you were saying, our mission becomes wider. Like
yes,
when you finally reach that part when you can say, hey, I'm healing. You know, every one of us has to go through a healing at some point, and it looks different for others, and it's for different purposes, right? But when you finally reach the point wherein you can say that, hey, I feel good about myself now, you know. And that could mean like, you know, your self-worth now, you know, your self-value. You kind of let go of some limiting beliefs that you've been holding on for a long time. When you reach that point, that your purpose changes. Like for me, like what I shared with you during my bio, I am currently a keynote speaker, which just I it just landed on my lap. That career change just landed
yeah,
on my lap. I was just searching, scrolling through my social media, my pages, and all of a sudden an invite to a webinar to become a keynote speaker just like landed. And you know that, you know, energy, like there's just an intuition, like something was just like, ugh,
yeah,
like driving me towards that, pressing it. And before I know it, like I registered, I paid for the workshop, the course, and you know, I was ready to change my life. But then, you know, like sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want it right away. Like I was competing with seasoned keynote speaker. I knew I was ready because it just, I wasn't just speaking on stages. Like I have been a leader, I've been a school owner.
yeah,
I knew all my life I've been a speaker. Like it's just really giving that opportunity, but it was just not happening. So, like what you said, you create your own opportunity. Like
yeah,
nobody else is gonna do it for you but you. That's when I started like opening myself to different avenue, podcasting. It's on my third year, and then I'm like, I wanna still continue speaking about what I truly believe in my heart. So I created like a love show, which I speak every week. It's like I'm streamed all over social media, and like just every year it just keeps getting better, getting better. I think
yeah.
you and I can agree that, you know, we always aim to be our highest version, right? That we can't just stop evolving. So this year, I am purposely and intentionally, all my presence, I want it with global impact. Why? Not because of fame, not because of like money. The more I hear the world, the chaos in the world about racism, about discrimination, the more the more I hear, especially in America, the more I hear those, the greater the urge in me to fight it, to really advocate for world peace, to advocate for world love, to advocate for world unity. Like I feel like I have a purpose. Like, okay, I hear that. And it's not a good thing because I've experienced the world. It's so beautiful. So why
Mhm,
divide the world, right? Like
mhm,
it could be in my neighborhood. You'll experience, some people will experience racism. And you know, it just breaks my heart. That's why I am intentionally, my presence, I make sure it has a global impact.
mhm.
I present all beautiful guests from all over the world because of that purpose. Like I want to stop those negativity when it comes to just accepting people for who they are. So that's why
Exactly.
I am all global. I am all global because I want to show everybody it's so beautiful when you are accepting everyone's culture and differences.
Mm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the thing is, what we have to remember is actually we're all the same. You
I
know,
know.
that's the
I mean,
joke
look
in
at
it,
us. We
really.
are
We're just
totally
the
two
same.
different people, right?
Yes, but we're all
But
the
we get
same. We're all
along.
one. So, all this division is all a distraction.
Yes,
It's
yes,
all a distraction. It's
yes.
all a sort of manufactured distraction. So people are against each other. It's been happening for
Yeah,
centuries. But it's, we disregard that because we
yeah,
just send the mission of peace through. And that's what we're going to have. Because I do believe that the world is changing.
yeah. I
Globally,
think so
so
too.
much is changing. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be
Yes.
a mini Bali for everyone.
You know why? Because more and more, you know why I'm gonna like I'll follow up on what you just said. Why is it changing? Because more and more people like you and I are spreading it, like are speaking up. Like I've never been in an era wherein there's so many podcasters right now. There's so many host coaches, like whatever your
Yeah.
field is, you just want to show everyone that, hey, I mean, life is beautiful and
Yes.
you can really find worth in
Yeah.
whatever you do. And I feel that whatever you and I are doing is the start of the change.